Huber in the morning.
Days gone by, you get up early, you walk to the end of the driveway, out to the curb, you stand there, maybe by yourself, maybe you had a group of friends that you met there, and you waited for that yellow cheese wagon to make its way towards you and pick you up and take you to school. It was a rite of passage, riding the bus, and were you good on the bus?
Always. I'm a good boy.
I treated the bus as if it were my own little stand-up comedy club, and I would hold court on the bus, and I had a captive audience, and I would do that like one foot on the ground, one knee on like the seat, and kind of stand up against the windows. You know what I'm talking about? That kind of a position.
You're the worst type of person.
And would just do everything from impressions to making fun of the situation to people. I was that guy.
Good relationship with your bus driver or no?
I don't remember being in trouble a lot. It could just be blocked out, but I don't remember being in trouble a lot. And now it ebbed and flowed. Sometimes I was curled up listening to The Cure on headphones, and then sometimes I was up there holding court. I guess just depending on the day of the week or or how I was doing. But lots of fun had on the bus for lots of people, but also lots of trouble being caused. And we got a story about a 75-year-old school bus driver in PA who took the law into their own hands.
Yeah, he threatened all the children on the bus that he was driving that he was going to crank up the heat really, really high for them being bad. So he asked the kids to put up the windows.
Wow. Sounds like a new Marvel villain we have, right?
Yeah. So, and he kept yelling things like, I'm going to cook all of you. And he also threatened to bring a paddle the very next day. So it was about 75 degrees outside that day. And inside the bus, it got close to 98 degrees.
Yeah, that is kind of miserable.
They said the children were very sweaty.
I'll turn this damn bus around. That'll end your brisket field trip pretty quick, huh?
The children were very sweaty.
I bet they were.
But they were all okay, and the bus driver has been fired.
Fired. Like no suspension, no whatever.
No.
I'll cook y'all like this soup I gotta make because I ain't got no teeth left.
So the problem is, I feel bad for the bus driver a little bit because of the story that you told before we got into the
kids
story.
Kids are the worst. Look, I my kids ride the bus right now, and I know their bus driver's name, not because she is a nice lady, which she is, but because my kids are hellions on the bus. So I've had many conversations with Miss Pam about what goes on the bus.
So you taught your boys the one knee on the seat move?
We haven't even gotten to that lesson yet. We haven't gotten to that page in the book yet.
I'll turn this damn bus around. That'll end your precious little field trip pretty quick, huh?
This is definitely a Gen X bus driver who time traveled into 2025 from the 80s, you know? I'm pretty sure my bus driver used to brake check us when we were bad.
Just tap him a little bit so you ate the front seat a little bit.
Hit your face on the front seat.
Yeah, Matt Davis, I've never noticed that dent on your forehead before.
See?
We have actual audio of Steve Campbell on the bus. Excuse me, Mrs. Bus Driver, where's the seat belt?
Right. Are we going to get homework this weekend? Mrs. Johnson, it's Friday at 3, and I know you're very busy, but we didn't get any homework, and I feel like we need to learn over the weekend.
Could you please stay in the right lane?
Miss Betty, bus driver, that sign clearly says 35 miles per hour speed limit. I've noticed we're going 36.
I want to get there, but I want to get there alive.
Those kids will be fine. They got oversized Stanleys full of water, right?
What food was the biggest disappointment once you finally tried it? Now, we live in an era where not only food, but food in particular, gets more hype than ever via social media. You got people that will be waiting in line 6 blocks long to eat a taco from the back of a pickup truck with a tarp over it in some alley in Los Angeles because all of a sudden some food influencer said this is the best taco they've ever had. This happens absolutely regularly now with social media. So it could be one of those things. It could just be one of those rite of passage foods. Like everybody tells you, once you grow up, you're really going to love blank, and you grow up and you try it, and you're like, no, still don't like shrimp, whatever it is. 410-584-1007. The question we asked of you was, what was the biggest disappointment once you finally tried it in the world of food? End-Up, you got a list here of some well-known ones that are kind of surprising to me.
Yeah, so let's start with 3 that I would put in the same bucket of advertising versus, the end product, which is the McRib crumble cookies and the Starbucks pumpkin spice latte.
Yeah, I mean, I got to be honest. I think if the McRib was really as good as the hype, it would never go away. It would just be part of the menu, and they'd sell a lot of them 24/7. I think the only reason they sell them is because they hype it up, bring it back, and then take it away.
Yeah, you also have things like kombucha, which is a social media trend over the last few years with a certain group of people that wear white Uggs and also like the pumpkin spice latte. But that is a pretty gross product when you break it down.
I genuinely like that, but I completely understand folks that don't. But I tend to like sour beers, and I like vinegary stuff, so that kind of falls into that wheelhouse.
And they make
for
them
me.
so sweet and delicious now. You're not drinking real kombucha, unfortunately, most of the people.
Yeah.
Then you have things like champagne, which people could take or leave. I think champagne's a good drink after you've had a few.
Champagne.
If that's the first drink of the night, not great.
If you're to the point where you're calling it champagne, it's probably pretty good.
And then one that was surprising off the list because I didn't think people had a hard stance on it was Pop-Tarts.
I think they're gross. I think they're gross cold. I think they're gross hot. I'm not a big fan.
How dare you?
Do you love Pop-Tarts?
I do. I love Pop-Tarts.
Yeah, Pop-Tarts are pretty good. What don't you like about a Pop-Tart?
There's not enough bread. The bread to sugar ratio is askew.
Really?
It is just a lot of sweet and no other payoff for me.
It's a lot of bread and a lot of them. I would like a little more filling. I think if I got a little more like blueberry, cherry, strawberry filling, I think it'd be a little more perfect.
Yeah, they don't do it for me at all.
What about a toaster strudel?
I would take that. They get a little softer.
Of course.
Yeah.
The people that don't like Pop-Tarts always say, it's a toaster strudel. It's so good.
410-584-1007. We do want to hear from you. I put one on the list here. I put cupcakes. I like cake just fine. I don't need paper to be involved. I don't need a line at some fancy place. I don't need to pay $7.50 for 2 bites of cake.
So you don't even like the fancy wedding cupcakes they make now with all the different flavors and icings? And
I am completely fine with a cupcake, but not enough to stand on a sidewalk 3 city blocks away and pay $11 for one. No, thank you.
that doesn't hype you up.
No.
I got you.
Rather just get a delicious piece of cake.
For me, on the list, and a lot of people are going to hate me for this, I think every time I see cornbread, I'm going to love it. And then I just hate it. See? I knew I'd make you mad.
Well, I'm sorry to say that it's the last day on the show for Matt.
Look how angry you guys are now.
God, I love cornbread so much. I do. It's so hot.
I hate it like you hate Pop-Tarts.
And you melt the butter in it.
I try to like it.
Oh,
Every
my God.
time I'm like, it smells so good and looks so good, and then I eat it and I'm like, eh.
And you get those little loaves,
Meh.
the cornbread loaves from BJ's.
Meh.
Oh, my God. 410-584-1007. We want to hear from you. What food was the biggest disappointment once you finally tried it, except for cornbread? Tell me you're not from Maryland without telling me you're not from Maryland. I don't like steamed crabs. I think they're overhyped.
How dare you?
We got a couple of those at 410-584-1007, including David, who said the biggest food disappointment for me was having hard shell crabs when I first moved to Maryland. Too messy, too expensive, too confusing about what I could and could not eat. And
Pretty sure you can get kicked out of Maryland for that.
I mean, I know some Marylanders who prefer a crab cake or crab balls to steamed crabs.
Okay.
And I'm okay with
I'm all right with that.
But admittedly, it's a bit more of a social thing than it is a fill your belly thing.
For sure.
But you buy a dozen whales and they're full. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that.
Oh,
Piping
no.
hot, crack them open. I love it. We're talking about foods that were the biggest disappointment once you finally tried it. Were they overhyped on the internet? Were they overhyped by advertising? Were they overhyped by your family? You take the bite and you're like, meh, I'm good on this. Did we get yours?
No, I don't think anybody cares.
I do. I want to know.
I love this product, but I always tell people when they ask me what it's like that you're not going to like it, and it's lobster. Very rubbery. It tastes weird by itself. Really needs sauces or butters. If you don't like the texture, you're not going to. So I would never recommend somebody to eat lobster if they ask me, because I believe it's a very weird product.
I just had a killer lobster roll at the Trifecta Festival on Saturday.
Right, but what was on the lobster roll?
A bunch of butter,
Other stuff.
It was a little bit of butter. That's all it was, actually.
So I'm kind of with you on the lobster because I only really like 50%. Like, I don't like the claw meat at all. I think it's mushy. I just don't like it. Lobster tail, grilled, dipped in butter, I can get down with. But I tell you, you put a Maryland steam crab, a king crab leg, and a lobster in front of me, lobster's third on the totem pole. I don't even have to think about it.
Agreed. Yeah. I got another one that make you guys mad.
Hit me.
Curly fries.
I don't really like them either. It's usually just because they're seasoned, and I don't want them. Let me pick what seasoning I want on my fries.
For sure.
Cindy from Parkville, sweet potatoes and sweet potato fries.
Preach!
I like them.
They're disgusting. They're worthless. Nobody asked for a sweet potato. They're not even sweet. You have to take things to make them sweet. It's a lie. It's an orange lie.
It is a bit of an orange lie, but you dip one in cinnamon butter, it might change your life.
I don't want cinnamon butter. Cinnamon butter can go kick rocks with the sweet potatoes.
Oh, there's all kinds of sauces for those fries.
Viraj from Phoenix hit us up with a good one. I think it's just become more of a gesture, or maybe even it's a humble brag. I just went to the beach, so here's a jug of Fisher's popcorn. And not Fisher's in general, just the caramel popcorn. You get it on the boardwalk, you take those first few handfuls, it's delicious. By the time it hits the break room in the office or the truck on the job site and your buddies are going to eat it, it kind of sucks.
Yeah, the last of it's going in the trash can, for sure.
And I'd add saltwater taffy to the mix. Why do we do that to ourselves?
It's good once, and then you never have to have it again. You can have it one more time, one small piece, the next time you go to the beach.
And you're talking to a guy who loves salty and sweet, and saltwater taffy does have a hint of the saltiness sometimes and whatever, but like in general, it's like, is this gum? Is this candy? What are we doing here?
I think it's more old school now. You think?
I think it is a big old school thing. Now there's just some plain old hate coming in. Chick-fil-A fries from Kelly from Baltimore.
Very plain. They're just plain.
Oh, get at it.
I love them.
Amazing fries.
I love them, but if you don't like the skin taste, I can see why you don't like them. Because sometimes you'll get one with a little bit of skin on it. It's a little bitter, and I'm like, yeah, I can see why you wouldn't like this.
If I need 15 different sauces to make your product work at Chick-fil-A, it's not a good look.
I'll eat them plain. I'll eat those fries plain.
God, you're a psycho.
Yeah, I got to dip mine in the Polynesian.
And I love the sauce. The sriracha sauce there is delicious.
Mini Horses put one up here that I think is really good. Salmon. A lot of people you're either team salmon or you're all the way. I don't know anybody who's like, I'm okay with salmon. I like it, but not, whatever. It's either like, bleh, or I want a salad with cold salmon on it.
I wanted to like salmon because it's so good for you. And I tried to like it, and it was disappointing for me as well, Mini Horse.
And if you have to describe something as it's pretty good, it tastes like chicken, then it's not that good. Just eat chicken instead. Juan from Pikesville just hit that up. 410-584-1007. Thanks to everybody who chimed in on that. Foods that were overhyped that once you tried, you were like, meh. And what was your number one again?
Lobster.
Yeah, I don't know that you're wrong. I really don't.
Yeah, I mean, even the tail meat, which is really, really good, is extremely rubbery. It has to be prepared properly for me to be like, go here and get it here.
And I this is on the list, and I appreciate that Mini Horse put it up there. But Kimberly from the Eastern Shore put brisket and barbecue sauce, and I think they did that just to make me mad. And I didn't take the bait. I'm not taking the bait. We're talking about a story we did earlier where a guy wanted to call his kid Brisket, named after something he loves. His family thought it was a joke.
It's because his mama cooked him in his smoker for 12 hours for 9 months.
And the family was like, that's a joke, right? He's like, no, that's what I really want to do. No, thank you, said the family. So we asked it you, 410-584-1007. What is a naming your child after something you love? And not a child, but a dog. Melanie from Eldersburg. My dog is named Eddie after Eddie Vedder. And you get a lot of dogs named like Jameson. A lot of dogs named after liquors.
Yeah, that's true.
Out there, I've heard. One of my favorite dog names of all time was D.O.G.
D.O.G.
D-O-G, but pronounced D-O-G, which I thought was fantastic. But we are talking about people naming their their offspring after things they love. I have a cousin who named their son Austin because they were a fan of Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Wrestling fans, yeah.
The Wrestler. Now, I feel like that's okay because Austin, out of context, you're not going to go, oh, he was definitely named after Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Like, that's not a weird name.
Right.
Yeah.
But if it is a very unique name and it's only tied to a unique other person or thing, then all of a sudden you're like, okay.
My favorite is the woman who woke up and saw the sign on the hospital wall that said no smoking, and she named the kid Nazmo King. True story.
I was going to say, is that a joke? Oh, my gosh. My cousin's husband's name is Colt. His mother left a Colts game and went to Union Memorial Hospital, and he was born.
Wow.
Colt. That's a masculine, macho kind of name, too.
It is. I like that.
I mean, you could also say I was named after the Colt 45, too. Who knows?
Lady Raven is a good name, too.
After the Ravens, I
Yeah,
guess?
sure.
Yeah, sure. We did have N-Dub give us a little revelation earlier that he was potentially named after a Pat Travers song, and then he made the joke, luckily I wasn't named Boom Boom Out Go the Lights, and Bobby from Westminster texted in with the exact same joke, and we're like, or John rather from Westminster, and we're like, did we say that on the
With
air?
the mics on?
Yeah, with the mics on, or do you guys just share the same brain? Yeah, John from Westminster. That was a good one. I'm named after my dad. I'm a junior, and my son is the third. Now, we didn't really love me so much that we were dying to name our son after me. We were convinced after an errant sonogram that we were having a girl. We didn't find out. And my wife was in a car wreck while she was pregnant. And we go to have the sonogram, and the technician says, I always just say he, don't take it to mean anything. You know, I know you guys don't know, so I'm just going to call the baby he, but, you know, that's just a thing. So we're like, okay. So halfway through the sonogram, the technician and my wife are talking about Pilates and this and that. And the sonogram tech goes, oh, she's going to be a Pilates teacher. She's going to be a Pilates teacher.
So, of course, you think after that statement saying, I always say he, that you're having a girl.
Well, she slipped. She spilled the beans. So we concentrated on girls' names for the rest of the pregnancy. And, you know, we didn't know for sure. So we're like, well, if it's a boy, we'll just name it after me. Like it was a throwaway name.
Yeah.
And then the doctor's like, you want to call the baby? I'm like, that doesn't have a phone. It's an infant. And they're like, no, call it. Like, see what sex it is. Like, oh, okay, I'll do that. And they pulled up my little boy, and I looked across the room, and I said, oh, my God, it's a boy. That was the exact words I used. Oh, my God, it's a boy, because we were convinced we were having a girl.
You guys didn't want to know for sure. You
No,
wanted
we
to be
did
a
not.
Surprise.
By the second one, we wanted to know, because we're like, do we got to paint everything pink, or
Right.
can we keep it all blue?
She did you dirty, though.
But, yeah, that sonogram tech messed with our heads big time. So, that's how he became named after me, because we had a lack of creativity, because we did not have that planned in advance.
You were pressured to give a name at the
Yeah.
last nth hour.
410-584-1007. If you've got some good ones, let us know. Naming a child after something you love.
Huber in the morning.